Welcome to Sips and Side Quests, an adventure-themed podcast series where we quest to quench our thirst for knowledge. If you're new to the show, there are a few things to know. The episodes are dressed up to be their own fantasy game-inspired verbal adventures. Each segment takes place within a fictional town or the surrounding areas, and much like any great expedition, the topics of our discussions may range far and wide. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your co-host, Darren. Thanks for being here with us for episode 005. Don't forget, new episodes release Thursday mornings on most major streaming platforms. Last week, the Tavern Bounty Board tasked you with learning something new about the world around you. For those of you that did that, great job. Proud of you. Pat on the back, golden sticker, you name it. Experience drop coming your way. But let's talk about today's adventure. Troy, what's going on?
Yeah, not much. What's up? Just kidding. We, of course, today are going to be getting into a great episode as we always do. Pretty lore heavy, as I said, at the end of 004. Go check that out if you haven't. But we, in 005, are going to be building out the SSQ universe today. Starting off, of course, with Tavern Tales. We've got some stories to tell, and I'm in the mood to talk about some food. After that, we'll be spinning a wheel, complete with sound effects and confetti and everything, and finding out how we deal with the challenge of making two completely separate ideas work together in drunken alchemy. And following that up and finishing out the episode, of course, will be me getting Darren even more drunk until he has thunk of the correct guess in a 21-question style Identify Spell segment.
Oh boy.
All in all, some great stuff to get to today. But before we can get into a single bit of it, Darren, I gotta know, what are you sipping on?
You know, I had a funny feeling that you were going to ask me that.
You can't do that. I already stole the joke last episode. You can't.
People love a callback. What can I say? Let's talk about my cocktail.
Now the horse is being beaten.
All right, so what I am drinking today, I'm going to refer to it as a modern French 75, which I will explain more later, but this is Judge Junior's 1927 recipe. So this is one of my personal favorites. I like to serve it for New Year's Eve. A French 75 consists of gin, powdered sugar, although you can sub-simple syrup, lemon juice, finished with champagne, and it is garnished with a lemon peel. I've tried with and without. The lemon peel is absolutely necessary. Must be something about like the oils on the lemon, like you like do the top of the glass with it, and it's much better. But some of you may have already caught on. This drink is just a Tom Collins with champagne in place of a soda water. You would be correct.
Yeah, so, I didn't know any of that. Thanks for telling us.
Yeah, for sure. So the history of this drink is not as clear and bubbly as the recipe. So the first iteration of the drink was made in 1915, which consisted of Applejack, grenadine, and no champagne. So a totally different drink under the same name. The drink has had many recipe changes since the original iteration, which I will cover the original recipe referred to as the 75, 75 in French, in another episode. But the Judge Junior French 75 was published in his book called Here's How, Second Impression. It was served on the rocks, similar to a Tom Collins, which is a departure from the modern interpretation, normally seen in a champagne flute. So there are also stories associated with this drink.
Ooh.
So you've got British soldiers serving the cocktail out of a 75 millimeter shell, and many stories reference how the French 75 millimeter was portable and could knock you flat, similar to this drink. It's all very interesting, actually, and it's a pretty messy history.
Okay. Yeah, man, you just said a lot of things. I was going to interrupt you, but then you just kept plowing forward. Dude,
it's a lot to unpack.
How are you going to say that a drink had Apple Jacks in it, and then you're just going to just rush right by that? Cereal in a cocktail? What are we doing here?
Tell me this is a bit, right? Is this a bit?
Yeah, this is a bit.
Okay,
I know you said Apple Jack, but I don't know what that is. Apple Jack Daniels?
It is an alcoholic drink produced from, you guessed it, apples.
Wow. Yeah, this is so Tom Collins is a much easier name to remember. I don't even remember the real name of this drink, but why Tom Collins seems like it would be like a classic. It's got the name of a classic cocktail. Why ruin it and create this jumble of words that I don't understand? What was it called? A modern French 75?
So you can just call it a French 75. I'm calling it a modern French 75 just because 1915 had a different recipe. So I guess the classic is different because it had grenadine as well. But
okay, so moving past that, powdered sugar? What is going on with this cocktail you brought to us today?
Yeah, I was really surprised by that too. I've only ever made it with simple syrup. I couldn't find any other iteration that had simple syrup, but powdered sugar is what's recommended.
So you have powdered sugar in your drink right now?
Absolutely not. That's way too much work.
Oh, you didn't actually do it. You did simple syrup. Okay, is it?
No, I mean, I have powdered sugar, but
it's mixed into the drink, or it's like a powdered sugar rim?
No, it's mixed in. It's part of the drink. It's like the way to add sugar in it. I presume it melts much easier than like granulated sugar is why they do it, but yeah, it's pretty good. But touching on the Tom Collins, you're absolutely right. The Tom Collins is an iconic drink. In fact, there's a Tom Collins glass is a piece of actual bar glassware, so it's very iconic. But to change this, maybe someone wanted something a bit more boozy. 1927 is when the recipe came out, which is, at the height of Prohibition, so they needed a little something.
Okay. Prohibition. A lot of your information involves Prohibition. I guess that was a big thing, huh?
Yeah, I would say so. People tried to come up with new creative ways to drink.
Oh, speaking of history real quick, don't want to get too off the rails, but if we do, it's fine. I saw my little sister recently. She does not know what the Civil War is. She also does not know what the American Revolution is. And she was not messing around with me. She genuinely does not know what those things are.
Is she, of age to know what those are?
She's
I mean, you don't
20,
have to say the exact
no,
age.
she's in her early 20s. So yeah, she should. But I guess public schools aren't teaching history anymore. I don't know. But didn't we dress up like Civil War when we were in elementary school? Yeah,
we had a full unit.
It's just American it's in the name. American Revolution. It's in the name what it is. But I digress. Yeah. You have this is your craziest one yet, I have to say.
Yeah, because I had some bubbly left over and I loved this drink. One of my all-time favorites. And so I went into the history and it just kept unraveling and unraveling. But I could go on about my drink for a very long time. What are you sipping on, Troy?
Yeah, so we're running it back to episode 1 today with another hit from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Now, if you weren't here for that or you just forgot, that's fine. What I had in episode 1, it was an American-style pale ale. That was the first drink I ever presented on the show, and also happens to be the first successfully commercialized pale ale in the United States. Today we have something different. It is a variation on the IPA, the Hazy IPA. This is one of my personal favorite beers in general, this specific one. It's called the Hazy Little Thing IPA, and I've had it so many times, I couldn't even tell you. It's pretty widely available, so you should be able to find it pretty much anywhere in America, I think. But yeah, I love it. It's not very bitter, only has 35 IBUs, which is great because I really don't even like bitter beers in the first place. It's very juicy, very light, and some would even say silky. Some being the people on the Sierra Nevada website. That's how they described it. What is a hazy IPA, though? You might be wondering. Good question. This is also known as a New England style IPA. This is going to be basically a regular IPA that has been enhanced with yeast during the brewing process, which is what gives it its signature hazy effect. How it differs from regular IPAs, like I said, these ones are generally very juicy, not very bitter, and just they have a little bit of a smoother mouthfeel, basically. Little bit of history about the hazy IPAs. They didn't actually make their way onto the craft scene until 2004, and even then, They didn't get popular until the early 2010s. So another young drink today, but it's a great one. Hazy IPAs in general are my go-to when I'm not looking to try something new. And so figured this would just be a nice little callback to episode 1. What do you think, Darren?
They put yeast in it, so you're just drinking bread?
I mean, isn't that just what all beer is, really? It's just delicious liquid bread.
Yeah, I guess so. Can you go into the silky mouthfeel? I don't think, and I've had quite a few beers in my time. I don't know if I'd describe anything as silky.
Silky smooth. You never heard of that?
I mean, I've heard of that, but how do you apply it to beer?
Man. So when you drink alcohol, sometimes it feels bad in your mouth, and it can hurt sometimes, or it feels rough or dry. This is not any of those. This is nice. It's smooth. It's hazy. It's got a great texture, right? You can swish it around in your mouth and you're like, this is good. Does that answer your question?
No.
That's okay. Let's move on. No, I'm just kidding. Any other questions or comments before we get out of the sips segment here?
What's going on with the brewery? Did you delve into them much at all?
Sierra Nevada. I didn't.
This is Sierra Nevada.
It's okay. Yeah. So yeah, I already did kind of a bit on them, episode 1, and then I did give a little background about their pale ale. They're located in California. I can tell you that.
Fair enough. Okay. No, I mean, that was a pretty succinct description. I mean, like you said, it's a place that we've talked about, so that sounds pretty straightforward. That's your silky bread beer.
Okay. With the deets on the liquids having now been spilled, we're going to hit a transition into Tavern Tales. We find ourselves seated at the bar this time around. No complaints there, it's a nice change of pace, but it's not the only thing that's different today. The air in the tavern is heavy with tension, hot, uncomfortable. We hear some sort of ruckus coming from behind us, and as we look over our shoulder to identify the source, we see 2 men standing in front of a jukebox, both of which we recognize. A tall, elegantly dressed man who we saw last with a string instrument in his hands, a troubadour. His hands, although now empty, are still largely in play in the form of numerous pointed gestures. He's waving his arms around, shouting directly into the face of a generic-looking man with a long beard. Hands on his hips, tattered robes flowing gracefully, we know this man to be the owner of the tavern, a wizard. A brief image of a classroom flashes through our mind but is gone in an instant. What was that? Before we can listen in on the argument, a whistle comes from a dark corner of the tavern. 3 men dressed in black, their faces obscured by shadows, an empty seat in their midst. They glare at us. It doesn't immediately come to mind who these men are, but as we see one of them raise a finger to his throat and draw it across, we laugh. Okay. Amused, we turn back to the bar. We didn't come here for drama today, and as we do, we hear a barmaid shout, "Food's up!" The bartender turns around to grab the dishes, and for the first time we notice where from. Long, vertically positioned wooden tubes extend downward towards the floor and even continue below it. Within an opening at about chest height sits a small platform, a large plate of delicious-looking meat and rice upon it. A wooden crank is positioned just below the opening on the outside of the tube. Is the food coming from the basement? Intrigued, we decide to put our own order in and watch closely as we wait for it to appear. We have arrived at today's story prompt. Darren, tell me about a memorable experience that you have had in your life involving food. It can be good, it can be bad, weird, anything in between. It doesn't even have to be about the food itself, just a memory involving it. What do you got?
Yeah, this is a great prompt. Way better than last week. If you haven't watched that, go check out episode 4. We struggled with that one. But
Shameless.
Today, this one, shameless plug, you're absolutely right. But so I was pretty reserved in my food choices when I was younger. Think like eats burgers, eats fries, doesn't put like any lettuce or tomato, onion, or anything on there. And I don't even know if it was preference or just being picky, but I took an international trip. I went to France, and it really broadened my food horizons. And so that's from, A to Z, but there was a lot of other letters in between. And so some of the food they served us there, I don't know if they were just screwing with us because we were Americans or if they actually ate it there, but I swear to you, we were served like a type of pate, maybe, not like duck, like the texture. And it looked like cat food. And we ate it. It was really good. It did not taste like cat food. And so that there was that. They served us a salad, and it just looked like pine needles. And I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be edible, but I never found out. I wasn't quite adventurous enough at that point. Safe to say that entire trip was very transformative for me, and really shaped how I eat food today. I mean, I eat kale as often as I can because I really enjoy it. But fun little story off that cat food, Puck. We were in southern France, and we went and, enjoyed a bit of the sun down there. I had bangs at that point.
Ugh. You didn't have to add that one in. You didn't have to say that. They don't need to. That's
important to the story.
Okay.
That's important to the story.
I hope it's relevant.
It's especially relevant.
Okay. All right.
We go, we hang out, and then we go back the next day and we fall asleep. Wake up. I flip my bangs up, and I have a sunburn line across under my bang.
Oh, that is so ugly to imagine.
Yeah, it was a real bad look. Man. So that's how it happened for me. So international travel can really broaden your horizons. So if you don't get an opportunity to, even try traveling to some other places that are landlocked with you. If you're in the United States, go to Canada. Go to Mexico. Do it in a safe manner, but broaden your horizons. That's my suggestion. But what do you got going on, Troy?
I'm not going to just let you get into my story without asking questions about yours.
Okay, but the thing is, you cannot ask a single question about the bangs. Keep it food related.
Okay, I actually don't have any questions then.
No questions.
No, just kidding. So, my first question, what is pate? What is a pate?
It's more of a texture, and I could be wrong in describing it. I'm not going to sell this in a really positive light, but maybe like the most comparable thing would be Spam. Similar to that, but a little bit more like ground up. But think like food puck, like a meat puck.
I'm familiar with like cat food, and especially the ones in the cans. They come out and they've even maybe got some indentations from the can, and it's just like this weird little. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what it was like. I'm sure it was like actual it was like a group of people, right? So it's not something where they're just like trying to screw with us. It was probably legitimate food, and it's probably actually got like a name. It wasn't bad. I had it, but
okay, that's so weird. I'm not gonna say weird, even though I almost said it twice. It's
bizarre.
Different.
It's bizarre to us.
It is to us. I just don't want to be insensitive. If any France people end up listening to this somehow.
Yeah, if there's anyone that's from France, let us know what that cat food puck that I had was, because I have no idea.
Yeah, and then pine needle salad? What is it? That sounds like grass or something. What do you...
It was like actually pine needles, and there was like a flower in there. I never did discern if that was supposed to be edible, but that was one of the nights that you just go home and you eat trail mix. Like there's... there is absolutely no saving that.
Wait, so it was literally pine needles?
Yeah, no, that wasn't like a comparison. It was like pine needles, and then there was like a magenta looking flower that they included in there. I don't know if it was all just supposed to be like a cute little garnish or what, but in America, we don't put things on there that you don't eat because we don't trust Americans with food dishes, right? Like if it goes on the plate, it's going to be consumed.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. I've always been a member of the Clean Platers Club myself, so maybe not in that case though. I'll take your word for it, but yeah, let's move on to my story here, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I went in a completely different direction once again. Just like I did the other time where I forgot my own prompt. I remembered my own prompt this time, but mine is definitely not as it's not as deep of a cut as yours. You have a really good sort of international trip, good experience, learning about new cultures. You had a nice message there. Me is not any of that. So this story comes from my early 20s. I guess a lot of them do, which is fine. I did a lot in my 20s.
As they do.
Don't do as much now, I guess. But yeah, so I'm not sure if things are different in different parts of the country, which, saying out loud, obviously they probably are. But at least in our little part of the country, Darren, why don't you tell me, if you were to go out in your early 20s, have a night out, and it's like midnight, 1 o'clock, and you want some food, where are you going to go? There's like a few places, restaurant-wise. What's even open that late? You're with people, everybody wants to eat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I mean, everyone has that place, and it was different before the pandemic. I would have to say that my go-to place... So there's like some college campus places, but prior to that would be Steak and Shake.
Yes, and that's where the story happens. This was totally unplanned. We didn't talk about this beforehand. It's just the place.
That come from Steak and Shake.
And man, I have the other one that I was hoping you weren't gonna guess was Waffle House. That's like number 2.
Never been.
No, that's like the other late night drunk spot. But anyway, well, there's Waffle House stories for another time. I had some friends get kicked out of one. Just find out why.
Sounds like
another
a recurring
episode.
theme. What a callback.
a lot of getting kicked out of places. This story though, we didn't get kicked out. This was just a night out. There was probably like 8 of us, which is a lot of people to be at a Steak and Shake at like 2 a.m. admittedly. But it was actually pretty packed in there. We got one of those big tables. Actually, we didn't get a big table. We got a bunch of small tables and created our own big table. I'm kind of like remembering this as I'm telling it. And we all sat down. Everybody like ordered their food. And the shakes came out pretty quick. I feel like that's obvious. Shakes are pretty easy to make, I would imagine. But not even everybody's shake came out. I don't know. The service here was crazy. We got our orders taken, and that was basically like the whole experience. We sat in there for a few hours, I think, maybe an hour and a half. We never got our food. Like, maybe one person got like a burger or like an order of fries or something. A few people got shakes, and that was it. And like, our server just disappeared, never came back. I don't know if they were like smoking cigs out back, or they ditched work. I don't know what was going on. But some people did get food, some people did not get food, and it got to the point where we just started leaving one by one. I think one guy who didn't get anything, like neither food nor a shake, was the first one to go. He was fed up with it, so he just walked out into the parking lot, and then just slowly, one by one, we just left. So this is probably my closest experience to a dine and dash. I'm definitely not the type of person to walk out on a bill. But in this case, I mean, some food was provided, so like technically some payment should have been given. But we were there like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and had not gotten all of our orders or anything. It was ridiculous. I just couldn't believe it. And I get that it's like Steak and Shake at like, 2 in the morning. But still, you got some paying customers here. Like, lock it in for a half hour, get us our stuff, and then you can go do whatever. Am I right?
Don't you pay at the counter?
At the end of the meal.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you just go to the counter? Was there like no one there whatsoever?
Oh, because we didn't want to pay. Because we didn't feel like they deserved payment. Okay. Because they didn't even bring us all of our food or orders or anything. They just disappeared on us. It was purposeful. It was like, dude, we're not paying for this service because this is terrible service.
Man, I have some Steak and Shake stories too. There's Steak and Shake is a bounty.
But we had a moral dilemmas segment the other time. This is maybe not as much of a dilemma, but it is a moral issue. Do you think that we were in the right to walk out of there after such a long wait and still not receiving anything and not pay for what we did receive. I want to stress that it was like maybe 25% of what we ordered got delivered to the table over the course of like almost 2 hours.
That's a real tough call. I can see the validity in both options. I probably would have tried to like pay for what had been received. That feels fair to me, or maybe I would have walked out sooner. That's really hard to say. I feel like it's an in the moment decision.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't want to, I did walk out as well. I don't remember if I received anything, to be honest. This was like a drunken night forever ago, but I think we were all in solidarity, like, this is ridiculous, we're leaving, we're not paying for anything. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I'd make the same decision now, but when I was younger, I cared less about things in general. So, yeah.
What's your Steak and Shake meal?
Man, I don't go to Steak and Shake often these days. I mean, the Frisco Melt's classic. It has to be the Frisco Melt, right? With some cheese fries, probably like a Reese's shake, I think probably would be the go-to.
You ever used their secret menu, ordered from it?
Oh, no, but don't they have some, like, what is it, like a 4x4 or something? You told me that you did this once. I'm remembering this now. You told me you ate this once or something a while ago.
You go to Steak and Shake. I think it's only after midnight. It's been a very long time since I have done it. It was in my 20s as well. It is called a 7x7. It is as it sounds. It is 7 patties, 7 slices of cheese. If you've never been to Steak and Shake, they're very, very small. I mean, they're maybe like, I don't know, like 3-4 centimeters. I don't think I can even use the Imperial system. They're so small, but
they're like thinner than even like White Castle's patties, I think.
Oh yeah. Tastier though. But it's a monster.
7x7, that's a lot bigger than the 4x4 I was thinking. And you actually did it, right? You completed it?
Yeah. The secret is to eat it very quickly and then regret it later.
Okay. As I'm sure you did. Wow. Yeah, Steak and Shake's a good one. Have you really never been to Waffle House, like, ever? Not even in the daytime or anything?
No. I've never been to Waffle House. I've driven past it many times. I've been to IHOP, and I mean, I feel like the food at Waffle House might be better than IHOP. IHOP is pretty bad.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Although, maybe my opinion isn't the most valid because most of the times I've had Waffle House has been drunk. So, everything tastes a lot better when you're drunk. That being said, I mean, maybe we'll have to get some drinks and get some late night Waffle House one of these days. That'd be a good christening. That reminds me of when you told me you'd never had Chinese food either. Chinese takeout, at least. That was surprising to me as well. And listen to this, listeners. I got to pop his takeout Chinese cherry, and it was a great time. He loved it, right, Darren?
The food was pretty good. I've since had like way better. I'm a big hibachi guy. Not for like the actual flair of hibachi, but the food is really high quality. So to get the fried rice between hibachi versus Chinese takeaway, it's completely different. Like they're made different ways, so that was kind of a weird adjustment for me. Yeah,
they are very different. Hibachi is definitely, I feel, higher quality than Chinese takeout. But hey, I say this almost every segment, and it's kind of becoming like a cliche transition for me, but I could literally sit here and talk about food the entire show. Let's not do that, but we'll talk about food in some other segments, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment here. We are going to be hitting the transition right now. 2 separate tales have been told, twice as many drinks have been consumed, and yet still our food has not arrived. 5 more minutes we've been told 3 times now. This is ridiculous. Had we known the wait would be this long, we would have slowed down on the drinks. Pouring alcohol into an empty stomach is a bad idea, to say the least. No sooner than that thought crosses our mind, the world hazes over. Our vision's blurred, and yet we don't care. The tension from earlier is gone, for us at least, and everything feels grand. Another ale bartender, we call. A loud boom from outside shatters the jubilant atmosphere. The earth shakes. An eerie silence befalls the tavern as those within look around in confusion. Suddenly, the tavern door bursts open. A disheveled-looking man cries, "A building has just fallen from the sky!" What? We run outside to witness a large dust cloud expanding in all directions. The silhouette of a large building becomes more and more visible as the dust clears. Still, we're unable to discern what it is we're looking at. A building, yes, but what is its purpose? Welcome to Drunken Alchemy, baby.
I'm excited for this.
So this is going to be pretty much all improv. Yeah, actually it's going to be all improv. Not pretty much, it just is all improv. We have a wheel here that has 20 different old school RuneScape skills on it. Shout out to old school RuneScape. Darren and I both have deep roots in that game, even as recent as like last fall. So we are going to be spinning this wheel twice. I'm going to be assigned one of the skills, Darren's going to be assigned the other, and we are going to mash them together to make some sort of franken'd building, basically. So without further ado, let's get into these wheel spins. Darren, I think let's give you the first spin. What do you say?
Yeah, let's give it a spin.
Okay, so I actually don't even have to make any fake wheel spinning sounds. You guys should be able to hear this. So here we go with the first spin of Drunken Alchemy.
No whammy, come on.
It's slowing down. Oh, looks like it's going to be crafting for you, Darren.
Ooh, that's a solid one. That could go a lot of ways.
Crafting could go a lot of ways. So we are going to remove that choice from the wheel, and now we're going to hit my selection here. Another spin coming at you. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Wheel slowing down again. Ooh, what is this going to be? Oh, it's right on the line. Farming. Oh, wow. Farming.
Oh, boy.
Farming and crafting. Okay, so I have farming. You have crafting. Okay, so we are just going to have to jump into this. We have to basically come up with a new building that is a combination of these two skills. Obviously, we can both pull from each skill. Darren's going to focus crafting. I'm going to focus farming. Nothing's coming to mind right off the bat. Darren, what are you thinking?
Okay, so I'm not trying to be like a John Deere, but something to do with crafting of farming. So, maybe it's like, it could be like a plant nursery. It could be like making machinery for farming. Those are my initial thoughts.
Definitely different kind of farm tools, I'm thinking. Where does the crafting aspect come in for like a plant nursery, do you think?
Yeah, that's definitely... Well, a plant nursery does a lot of things, right? Like, that's the farming aspect, but I guess you could think of it as like... Maybe it's got like a different element. Maybe it does both, honestly. Maybe like we craft and manufacture farming equipment, but we also are a plant nursery. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh, so it's kind of like, have you ever been to those warehouses where they have like a factory store just like attached to it that you can go in and it's like super discounted prices on stuff?
I haven't, but I like the sound of it.
Yeah, so that's a real thing. I'll have to tell you later about one in our city. They have some good clothing, but yeah, okay. So we have like kind of like a big warehouse that is going to be producing farm equipment. So that's going to be like tractors, right? Some shovel. Like, are we going to be doing like shovels and stuff, or is it going to be machinery?
Yeah, we could do the works. We could do all of it. We could make like shovels, rakes. We could have hoes.
Oh, okay. I do love me some hoes.
Low-hanging fruit. Yeah, okay, so like the plant nursery, and it's like we do the planting side of things, but also maybe like we've got like a kiln where we like make the ceramic pots as well.
Oh, we make our own pots. Yeah, that's very crafting-esque.
Yeah,
wow.
Like pottery. Oh, I think I like that more. Maybe it's less machinery. Maybe it's more like you got like a ceramic studio kind of thing with a plant nursery, and they just like work together in that regard.
Dude, oh my gosh. Imagine like, yeah, it's like a pottery studio or something like that where you can go in and make your own plant pot, but then like in the same place you can fill it with a plant and then leave with a whole plant in a pot that you made yourself. That's crazy.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, if that doesn't exist, maybe it should in real life. But within this context, that's great. Okay, so we have a basic idea. It's like crafting studio / plant nursery. Those things obviously go hand in hand. And actually for our skills, crafting and farming, that's like the perfect combo because crafting literally is like making pots and things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a basic idea. Let's get more into the nitty gritty here. So how is this going to be set up? Is it going to be just like one big open concept where like maybe one side of the room is the pottery, the other side's the plants? Is it going to be multiple stories? Are they going to be like separated by walls? What are we thinking here?
I'm thinking like super holistic, like outdoors for the farming portion, maybe like a veranda over the top and then like a small like storefront type area, and then maybe like an arch that goes into the crafting space with like the kiln.
Okay, so what comes first? Probably, do you have to like walk through the plant nursery outdoor area to get to the kilns?
My thought is you could walk in either way. Like maybe you want to come in and buy like plants, or maybe you want to do like what you said, where you like walk in the crafting place, you make your own, and then they like set you up with a plant. You know what I mean? So it's like you have the option to do both or combine both.
Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, so it's not going to be multi-stories or anything like that, I don't think. It's just going to be a basic building and then like maybe like a fenced-in sort of outdoor area is what I'm imagining.
Yeah, like you would expect it, like any place that has like landscaping or like plants for sale where you can just like go out and it's like a different part of the store, like a different environment almost, but it's still connected.
Okay. Yeah, like yeah, okay. I'm imagining this in my head, and I'll talk about it, so it's not just in my head, so that it's also out here on the podcast. So if anybody's ever been to a plant nursery in real life, they have little stores there at the plant nurseries. They have like a little outdoor area and then a little indoor area. Granted, the indoor areas are more just like retail stores, but I like this idea better. So the outdoor is going to be full of plants, maybe some little aisleways you can walk down and stuff like that. What's the pottery studio going to look like? Is it going to be more of a store, or is it going to be more of like you have to create your own? Obviously, I think there should be options for both, but what does it lean more towards?
Yeah, I feel like my personal thought is that it would lean more towards the actual crafting, like the kiln, the pottery, and then maybe it would have like some display shelves, like mildly off topic but still relevant. Have you ever created your own candle?
Yes, a long time ago.
So
once.
they've got like display walls on like what you're going to make, and then they have maybe like a few for sale, so it's like bare bones, so you can still buy stuff, and maybe they've got like a storeroom in the back, but it's definitely going to be, I think, more based on the actual crafting itself.
Okay, yeah, and definitely, I mean, the skill's crafting, so that makes sense. Cool. So obviously, I had something written down here about color schemes, but I think, one of them's outdoor. It's obviously going to be very green. The pottery interior section, I imagine to be just kind of like beige almost. What are you picturing?
I'd agree with beige, but it needs to have contrast. Like, the walls and the floor need to be different.
Okay. What are you thinking color-wise?
I mean, maybe we think exterior. With this being medieval, we should think about, like vernacular architecture. Maybe there's like a river nearby, so we're getting river stones. So maybe that's what a lot of the styling is.
What are river stones? Like different, shiny and different colors, basically?
I don't really have a good way to describe river stones. Even like I know what it looks like.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I just looked it up to see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It's like varying stones. They're like smaller stones, but like stacked together, probably like with mortar. But yeah, I think that actually fits a crafting vibe really well.
Okay, so smaller stones that are like, what did you say? Held together?
Yeah, held together with mortar, but they're like varying colors. I mean, looking at what I have right now, it looks like we got like maybe like a dark red, like a light gray, darker gray, like a
Okay.
almost like a dark yellow kind of energy.
So some red and gray, that is very medieval. Um, okay, so that's like the exterior, the walls and the things like that. Is the interior gonna follow the same path, you think, or what are we planning here? I envision it to be a little more polished on the inside, myself.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that. Maybe like it's like mudded out on the inside, just to kind of
Mudded
help with
out.
the insulation.
What does that mean?
But it literally just like mud and straw to help with insulation. But I could also see, I mean, we're like a ceramic place, so they could be working with clay. So the walls could be clay.
Okay, which is like a reddish color, if I'm not wrong, right?
It can be. I mean, there's like varying, but yeah, it could be red. I like that. We would just probably want to make sure that we have, some windows, not by the kiln, just to kind of like natural light.
Natural light, of course. Is it? Do they have wooden flooring in medieval times, or would it be more stone?
I mean, I imagine we can do either. I think it's up to you on how you want to run it.
Well, it's up to us. Well, actually, it's not up to either of us because it's not our building. It just appeared from the sky. But we are designing it in this moment, so it is up to us.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the wood flooring. What do you think about the wood flooring?
I like the idea of wood flooring. I just wonder if it's maybe not a little too polished for everything else. I think we're going for a very earthy, natural vibe. So I think in my head it doesn't really match with the rest. I think it's got to be some sort of stone flooring. I mean, the walls are clay. I think that's cool. And you said they need some contrast between the walls and the floor. So I think it just follows the trend of the exterior, right?
Yeah, we could do some stone, maybe like limestone flooring. I feel like that would be probably available.
Okay, limestone. That's not lime green, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
It's like a very light gray.
You know a surprising amount about stones, like so much more than me. River stones, limestone. I've heard of these things, but I've not even.
I definitely Googled.
He's got Google up.
But
Gee.
to be fair, old school RuneScape does have limestone that you can mine,
Yeah,
so I did know about that.
Yeah, they do. Okay. Yeah, and that's white. It's not lime green at all. We're good. We are totally good. Okay. So we have the basic idea / function of the business itself. We have a little bit about the exterior, a little bit about the interior. Are there any other sort of decorations or unique identifiers that you can think of? Just little flavor that we could add to this thing. Anything coming to mind?
Decorations. Yeah, so with the veranda, so in between the wood and the outdoor area that goes above the farming place, it should have a lot of green. It should have vines and almost completely obscures the vision to the sky, just because it almost feels like nature has started to take over the space.
And the veranda, that's like an archway that you're talking about, right? That separates the two?
So veranda being different, the archway being in between the two, but veranda, think wooden posts that run over, or maybe, wooden beams that run over that are parallel.
That run... Oh, what do you mean run over?
Think a roof that has holes in it.
Okay.
How else would I describe a veranda? So think that you've got these beams that run across the entire space from wall to wall, but there's gaps in between those beams, say maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Oh, okay, and this is over top of the outdoor area.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said it's going to be tons of vines. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Vines obscuring the sky. Yeah. Yes. Okay, now that I know what a veranda is, we are cooking here.
I could be using it wrong, but that was the closest thing that I thought I could like throw in.
No, I mean, that second description was spot on. I can picture it in my head so well. Okay, so we got the veranda over the outdoor area. The archway maybe leads to like a little path that leads into the pottery studio. Little
It'd be kind of
cobblestone
cute,
path.
do like a little naturey area, maybe like a water fountain in
Dude,
between the two.
oh my god, yes, that's what popped into my head. Like a little water fountain, maybe like some benches where you can just like enjoy the area, the space.
A bird bath, dude. Birds splashing. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I like this a lot more. This came together way more than I expected it to. I mean, I think we got some good skills though. Crafting and farming, it could have went definitely a different way.
They're tough to mash up. I feel like we put them together well.
Yeah, we definitely did. Okay, anything else you can think to add before we send this over to the construction team? Let them get to work. Just kidding. It's already built. But anything else?
That all sounds pretty good. I mean, maybe we'll find out more as we explore the place. But that sounds like a pretty good description on what we would see. So.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that was pretty fun. So just to recap here, what we got, we kind of did a mishmash of an indoor-outdoor area. You can enter from either way. The outdoor area is more sort of like a plant nursery. There's aisles you can walk down, different plants on display, covered with a wooden veranda that is sort of engulfed by vines, so much so that it like obscures the sky. You're really just kind of within a realm of plants when you're inside. Very immersive inside of this outdoor plant nursery. Separating that from the indoor space, there's like an archway you pass through just before the actual building itself. There's a little like just nice outdoor area, like water fountain with some birds splish splashing, some nice benches outside. You can take a load off, whatever you got to do. And then you can make your way into the pottery studio, where it's mainly a pottery studio. There's a bunch of windows nowhere near the kiln, which actually I didn't ask. Why can't they be near the kiln? What's the problem there?
My thoughts are it would be difficult to keep the flame going in the kiln if there was like gusts. So, okay. I mean, I'm not super familiar on how kilns work, but that was just kind of my gut.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a building that has a lot of outdoor natural light coming into it, but not so much so that it's positioned that it's going to blow out the flame in the kiln. A lot of stone around here. There's some shelving on the walls that has various pots and other sorts of things that you would make in a kiln. The main draw of this place, though, is that there are a bunch of just little, what would you even call pottery wheels, I guess? The things that spin around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah, so there's like, maybe in my head, there's like 4 or 5 of those in the middle of the room. There's maybe like a small counter where you could like, you know, pick out sort of what type of thing you want to make. There's some different examples, and overall just a pretty basic building, but the idea here is you can not only pick out a plant, but you can make your own pot to go with it. So
yeah, and the employees have really thick leather aprons,
and they're brown.
Something like, yeah, absolutely. It's like oddly comforting when you walk in. It's like, wow, they know what they're doing.
I love it. How do you feel about this idea? Final thoughts. You happy with this?
This is great. Honestly, it sounds like one of the good old coffee shops where, like, you know, not like a big franchise. You just go in and sit there and just appreciate. That's what this feels like. It feels homey and cozy.
Yeah, I would love to visit this place in real life, but unfortunately doesn't exist. Oh well. That was nice. That came together well. Let's move on to our transition and see what happens now that this building has dropped out of the sky. The dust clears, as does our vision. A large wooden veranda stands before us, behind which we catch sight of a smaller stone building. The wooden beams are covered in moss, vines, and other various plants to the point that the entire outdoor area is engulfed in green. A small, dark opening in the middle of that area entices us forward, and we enter. Rows upon rows of various plants, all on display and clearly for sale, sit on either side of the aisle we now find ourselves in. A stone archway sits at the end of the aisle, and past it we can see a path leading up to a smaller stone building, the same one we had seen previously. We make our way past the plants to get a closer look. Various colored stones decorate the outside of this building. Where there are not stones sit windows, a lot of them. The designers of this place clearly valued natural light. Interestingly, we notice a faded white sheet hung up in one of the windows that are facing us, obscuring the entirety of it. Somebody has painted something on the sheet, we see, and as we move closer to examine, a jolt of energy runs through our body. Is that? No. We quickly pull out a wadded up piece of paper from our pocket, a missing poster containing a drawing of a black bag tied together with gold string. In the corner of the poster, we find the logo. We glance up and back down and up again, a large kiln, except instead of fire filling up its chamber, there sits a single small flower. This logo, it's exactly the same. We rush towards the building as if controlled by a higher power. From behind us, the onlookers that have swarmed to the commotion, they yell at us to stop, to stay away, but they don't know what they're talking about. Without hesitation, we thrust ourselves inside of the small building and see numerous pottery wheels scattered around the room, small stools surrounding them. The walls themselves are adorned with various wooden shelves upon which sit beautifully crafted vases, pots, and other sorts of objects. To the left of the room we see a counter, and behind the counter, a woman. "Hello, and welcome. I believe you have something of mine." We stand, slack-jawed and still a little drunk, as she approaches us and reaches into our pocket, removing the black bag. Normally, a stranger being so forward would prompt us to enter into combat, but there's something about this woman's presence that's comforting. "The name's Angela," she says. "You may be wondering, how did I know? Where did I come from? Do I always make such an entrance? Great questions, all of them, but just as many answers that I cannot give you." She smiles. "I'm sure you've also wondered, what's in this bag of mine? What makes it so valuable? Now that I can tell you, but I'm not one to give out information for free." She thinks for a second. "How about this? If you can guess what's inside, I'll let you see it. If not, well, tough cookies. You'll get your reward and off you'll go. Sound good?" She stares at us expectantly. "Fine. We'll play your game." "Splendid." And with that, we have made it to our Identify Spell segment. Woo! So this is based off of the game, 21 questions. Now, I know what the answer is. Darren does not, except for that it is in this black bag that we have been carrying around for a few episodes now. I'm not sure what the official rules of the game are, but here are the rules we're going to play by. You can only ask me yes or no questions, right? I think that's a pretty standard one. You get 20 information questions, informative questions. The 21st question, it has to be a guess at what the answer is. For this, we're going to raise the stakes a little bit. Darren, if you don't make a correct guess by the end of the game, the answer is not going to be revealed. I'm not telling you, I'm not telling the audience. We're just out of luck, as Angela said. Also, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this one. We are called Sips and Side Quests, so I'm going to make Darren take some sips here. Any question that results in a hard no, Darren has to take a drink. Now, I'm going to, I guess, help him out a little bit, but also hope that it doesn't help him. Darren, you can make 2 early guesses in addition to the final 21st question guess. These aren't going to count towards your question count, and they're totally optional, but if you really feel like you know the answer, you can guess early. However, if the answer is not right, you have to finish the rest of your current drink immediately. So, those are the rules we're going to play by. Those are the rules we're going to play by. You don't have to make the early guesses at all if you don't want to be out here chugging on a podcast. Totally your call. But yeah, so feel free to start asking, walk me through your thought process. I'm going to be as vague as I can while also trying to help you out because this is something that we need. Our character needs this. We want this. So let's go.
It's about to be Sipson leaving me on my side. Oh my goodness. All right. So let me just kind of clarify on the rules. I mean, you'll just tell me when to drink, right? I don't have to think too hard in that regard.
No, just like if it's a hard no to your question, then you'll have to take a drink, and I'll be like, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll say no, take a drink.
And let me just remind you, I'm drinking a gin cocktail with champagne, so each sip is not going to get better.
Well, you better think hard about your questions.
I'll just guess it off rip. Okay. Is what's in the bag, does it pertain to what's going on at this business?
At this business? As in,
yeah.
Is it like part crafting, part farming relevant to those?
Is it relevant to the operations of the business in any way?
No. Take a drink.
Well, good news, there's ice in here, so you'll be able to hear.
There we go. Oh yeah, we can hear it. That really adds to the environment, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I gotta take some obvious guesses, right? Is it jewelry?
Wait, is this a guess? Is this a real early guess, or is this just a question?
No, this is a question. I mean, I feel like
okay.
that leaves it vague enough.
Is it jewelry? No, it's not jewelry. That's another drink. You're setting yourself up for failure here, buddy. You gotta ask more vague questions.
I just wanted to get the obvious ones out of the way, because
Okay.
I feel like those are the things that fit, so... Okay. Vague questions. So, I don't know if this is a question. So, if you think it's a question, don't answer it. But so this is a bag, right? So, are we thinking that this is like a bag that can hold anything, like a bag of holding, similar to D&D, or are we thinking this is like a bag?
I can't give you that information. You have to use that as a question. I can't give you that for free. You have to ask.
Okay.
You can ask about the bag itself, sure, but it counts. It has to be
All
yes
right.
or no. So, yes or no question.
Is the bag the same dimensions as the bag, or does it contain more?
That's not a yes or no question. Yes
Why
or
not?
no?
Okay.
Because you
Well, no, I
said or
That's
more.
yes or no.
Is the
that's still
here?
yes or no?
I'll help you phrase it.
Hold on.
Is the
Okay.
object inside the same dimensions as the bag? That's what you're asking me.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's technically a yes or no question. So, but the answer's no.
I'll drink and I'll
Okay.
ask more. Hold on.
Good sport. Because that's not like a traditional yes or no, but it is a yes or no. So I'm gonna count it.
Help me discern the information from that question. I understand it's supposed to be yes, no's. The answer to that, are you telling me it's a bag of holding or it's just a regular bag?
It is not a regular bag.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. I guess I could have just asked if it was a bag of holding, but
You could have.
yeah.
And that would have
We got
been
there.
that would have been a
that
yes,
feels fair.
and you wouldn't have had to drink. But it's okay.
I forgot if I get a yes, I don't.
Yeah, it's only no's. So
Oh, bleep those out in post. Oh no.
no.
Okay. Okay. What are we at? 3 questions.
Three questions. Yeah.
I'm doing great. Only 3 no's. Not bad.
3 questions, 3 drinks so far. So, all right.
Okay. All right. So what we've gleaned so far, it's not jewelry. It doesn't pertain to this place.
And it's a bag of
and
holding.
it's
The
a
bag
bag of
itself.
holding.
Yes. What are you thinking? Walk me through.
Well, so that immediately like blows it wide open, right? So it's like it's likely not going to be something that would fit in a normal bag if it's a bag of holding, but hypothetically it's something that should be able to be pulled out. So it's not going to be like a house. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell you that one for free. It's not a house. It's certainly not a house.
Down. 3B. Okay. And so we're going based off the bag of holding rules, right? So like Nothing could be alive in there. Or do you want me to ask?
I'm gonna make you ask. I don't know that it's like necessarily a I don't know the bag of holding rules, so just assume that this is similar to a bag of holding in the space dimension sort of area, but D&D rules don't apply. So it could be alive, and I don't know the other rules, but ignore them. Just assume this is a bag that can hold much more than is visible from the outside.
All right, I got to figure out how to word this because we need a yes.
Okay.
we need a win. So,
you do need a win. This will help us a lot.
So I'm just trying to figure out how to properly word it. So, I'm just gonna throw like an "un" in front of it. The object in the bag isn't alive.
Yes or no?
I mean, is that not yes or no?
No, I'm saying so you're asking me is the
I know I'm confusing you with the
the wording. You're trying to avoid the drinks.
Basically what I'm
what's
what
in the
I'm trying
bag
to convey.
is
it
answer
dead, right? Like is it not like alive? That's basically what I'm trying to convey.
Oh.
Like, is the object like inanimate or is it like not breathing? That's what I'm trying to convey, but I'm trying to word it in a way that you say, oh, it is dead or it's inanimate, so you can tell me yes.
Oh,
that's my goal.
Is it inanimate? Is the question.
Well, I mean, I asked, is it not alive?
Is it
so
not
like
alive?
Is it not breathing? I don't know.
The phrasing is crazy here, dude. The
I'm jumping
hoops. The hoops. Is it not alive?
Give me a dub.
No, it is not. Wait. See, I don't even know. You're tricking me here.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm trying to convey. So if you tell me if I'm so it's not alive, then you would say yes, it's not alive.
Okay. It's not alive. So the answer is no. No, it's not alive.
So it is alive.
Yeah, so you still got to know with all your trickery.
I mean,
but that's good information,
bad.
though. That's great information from you. Didn't expect you to get there in 4 questions. That's impressive.
Yeah, drinking makes you smart. What can I say?
It is technically alive, yes. That's 4 questions. Pretty, yeah. See, damn, the bag of holding rules. You got me with that, because then I had to clarify, and then that got you thinking, like, oh, it could be alive.
Well, that was my original question, so I asked it out of kindness.
I should have made that part of the rules. Oh well.
All right, so I'll ask another question for you then, like a freebie question. So maybe this gets me. Is the object currently alive?
Yes. There you go. No drink.
Yay!
And good info.
Not bad. No, that is good, because I was thinking like maybe it's something that had like, maybe it was like taxidermy, what have you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nope, currently alive.
All right, so we know this is a living object.
Mm-hmm.
It's not jewelry.
Not jewelry.
I think this is gonna be a drink, but I think I have to answer this. Is it cursed?
No.
Okay.
Take that drink, boy.
Narrows it down.
Not cursed.
Is it a pet? Like a house cat kind of thing?
Is it a pet? I'm only going to answer the direct questions. Is it a pet?
Well, house cat to clarify, you know.
Could be considered a pet. But
okay,
I don't.
Let me re-ask this.
I don't think traditionally.
Is it a familiar? How about that?
A familiar?
Yeah,
like
so I feel like that
like an animal that would like
pet.
that's like friendly, that would follow you around and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, good luck putting that into a yes or no.
Is it a familiar? What is a... Hold on. What is a familiar? We're getting to the nitty-gritty here.
don't read too deep into the question, because technically a familiar, I think, is something that's like summoned. What I'm thinking is like domesticated animal. Like it could be like, i.e., like an imp. It could be like a dog. It could be like a horse. Get that?
I'll say yes. It's, and I'll give some additional free clarification. It's maybe not like a pet, but can be sort of taught things and is just generally friendly.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm either super warm onto this or I'm completely missing it.
We'll see. I don't know. What are you thinking? Tell me.
Is it a bird?
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. That's tough to narrow it down. What am I at? Like 8 or 9 questions?
7. You're actually doing pretty good.
Yo.
Yeah, not bad.
Man, drinking does make you smarter. Maybe I should get another no.
You could. Don't forget you have your early guesses if you feel like you know it early.
You said I have to finish my drink for
Yeah,
early?
no, you have to finish the drink if you get it wrong though. So right now you know it is an alive bird that is not relevant to the business we are in currently. It's not cursed.
I could technically just keep doing yes no's, right? Like I don't even have to guess.
You don't have to guess. No. Not until the end if you didn't want.
So what I know is that we have an alive animal, it's a bird, and it's smart. So that narrows it down. It's definitely not a pigeon. They're dumb. Not a dove. I hear they're good eating. So the first few that come to mind, you think like crow, you think raven. And
well, I technically didn't say that it's not smart. Or I didn't say anything about its intelligence. I just said it can be taught things.
Yeah, I feel like most birds are pretty stupid, though.
Yeah.
Can be taught things.
That can be argued, for sure. But I wouldn't, you didn't ask me about its intelligence, so I can't comment on it. But I didn't
Understandable.
Say
you know what? I'm so early off. Let's just roll into it. That feels fair. Is it a smart bird?
No. That's a drink.
Pigeon's back on the menu. Okay. All right, so that takes ravens and crows off the table. How much research did you do into this bird? Like, do you know that it's actually not smart?
Yes. I know that it is not considered to be an intelligent bird. Yes.
Okay, well that makes it a lot tougher.
Man, I can't believe you guessed the alive question on question 4. That's crazy.
That's like one of the bag of holding type shtick questions, so that...
The bag of holding screwed me over.
Mm-hmm.
We're still at question 8, though. Still about halfway through.
Should have just stuffed the bird in a regular bag. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, tell me.
I feel like this one helps me narrow it down.
Okay.
Is this a bird that you would find in a city?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. All right.
For sure.
So that to me takes out like farm animals, right? That takes out chickens, well, you could find ducks, but chickens are off the menu.
Definitely not alive chickens in the city anyway.
All right.
Or maybe I don't know what they got going on back there.
That's fair.
But I'm going to say yeah, you could. Definitely.
Okay. Okay, I don't want this to be so is it a guess if I still get a yes no? On what it is if I try to narrow it down.
Like a guess is going to be a yes or no, but if you have to clarify, like, I want to guess what the answer is, and that makes it an early guess. If you ask me like a direct, like, is it this? That's an early guess.
We're gonna take a yes on this one. I'm gonna phrase it differently. Is this a dull looking bird? As in, like, is it not colorful?
Is the bird not colorful?
Yeah.
You have like learned the game system so quickly
I've
to get
had
yeses.
so much to drink already. How dare you?
Yes, it is not colorful. There's your your yes.
It's a boring bird.
It's
All
a
right.
dull bird, yeah.
Okay.
Some would say.
All right. Could be found in the city.
Could be found in the city. Not particularly colorful.
Yeah. It's not very smart, but it could be taught things.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. How many questions are we at?
10. Halfway.
10? All right. We're doing okay.
Doing really good, actually. Yeah.
So, is this a bird that also goes in water?
I mean, I guess technically any bird could be in water, but I would say...
But like a waterfowl, you know?
Like a duck or something? I would say like traditionally this bird is not connected with being in water. So
best drink that I've had all day?
No. Take a sip. There we go. I hear the ice clinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've narrowed it down now. There's no ducks, there's no swans, there's no geese.
Thank goodness, no geese. Those are the worst. I hate
Imagine
geese.
pulling a goose out of
We need to do it.
a bag of holding.
It's just squawking and starts attacking people. Oh.
And it's a dragon-sized goose. Call back.
Goosezilla makes a it's Goosezilla in the back. Bro. Imagine if I made it Goosezilla and he just attacks us. Oh, surprise dex save. That'd be insane.
Oh man.
That'd be so good.
So, not a waterfowl, not a smart bird. So to me, that takes raven off the list. I'm not 100% sure about crows. I think they're pretty smart. Jackdaws, all that.
I'll give clarification. I would when I answered the question, I think I considered crows to be a smarter bird, so it wouldn't be included.
I think that's fair. I think like ravens, crows, they all kind of live in the same like realm of like teachable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so we think it's a bird that can be found in a city.
Can be. Not really associated with water.
Is this a bird that you would find on a farm?
Traditionally, no. I don't think so.
All right. Okay.
That's a drink.
Yeah. That takes chickens off at least. So, I mean, I've got two thoughts already. I've got pigeon or dove.
Okay. Two solid yeses. But
I mean, technically, it could be like a parrot, right?
Maybe. Aren't parrots colorful?
Oh, they are colorful.
Yeah, you already asked the color question.
Listen, you gotta help guide me. I've had some things to
I'm trying.
Okay. All right, so we've narrowed it down. So those are two. How do I narrow it down?
You could take an early guess here and just guess one of them, and maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong.
I don't know if I know the difference between a dove and a pigeon. Hold on. Dove?
I think doves are like white. Pigeons are gray. That's all I know. As far as like behavioral differences and things, I'm not entirely sure.
Pigeon. You know, while I'm looking this up, you ever seen a baby pigeon? I haven't. It feels like a scam.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit me with like, they're actually really cute or something like that, but just
no.
It's more of the birds aren't real propaganda. That's a conspiracy.
Okay, so... It absolutely is. Okay, so one has like a rainbow neck, and then the other one is kind of boring looking.
Which one has a rainbow neck?
Pigeon has like a rainbow neck. Look it up. It's kind of like, you know, like the oil slick when it's like wet and you see it from far away.
Pigeon. Oh, they have the green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need to go back and fix one of your answers?
I'm not giving you any information like that.
Okay. All right. How do I discern between these, though?
Clock's ticking, dude. You gonna ask a question or not? What are we doing?
Does the you're gonna love this one. Does the bird in question have morning in its name?
No. Take a drink. That's a ridiculous question. I can hear the alcohol in your laugh. This is bad.
I mean, I was like midway through drinking. Oh, okay. I mean, it's all pointing to this. I have to do this. Does this count as one of my
Yeah, if you're doing an early guess. Early guess. It doesn't count as a question if you're making an early guess. You're at 13. So
is it a pigeon?
Yes, it is. It is a pigeon.
I was scared to pick it. I knew like 3 or 4 questions ago, but I wanted to be more sure.
Yeah. Admittedly, I forgot about their neck, so they are a little colorful, but still not like still not like colorful like a parrot or something would be. Damn. Yeah, you really, man. The bag of holding, I should have clarified sooner. I'll remember that for next time.
You're welcome, audience. Now you don't have to not know.
But
you're welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm. It's actually good that you got it because this is going to be helpful.
This is for you, audience. All done.
Okay. All right. You finished it. Okay, so because you got the correct guess, it took you 13 questions and then an early guess to get it, which is pretty good. Yeah, not even 2/3 of the way through. So you got onto the trail pretty early. I think question 4 was the alive question, and then 5 or 6 was, is it a bird? So you were you were in there quick. I mean, there were a lot of different animals to choose from. What made you decide? Like, what made you ask about a bird specifically?
Is that my order? I went from is it alive to is it a bird?
It was like within the next few questions, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I remember my thought process. But realistically, thinking back on it, I think that helps narrow it down from like maybe there was like some vagueness in there where it was like it can be. So that to me is like, well, then it's not like a cat or a dog. So I need to kind of like go into that. Like a duck could be, a chicken could be. So and birds. So
okay, very cool. Well, good job. We get the good ending now. So this is going to be the good ending. I had to write it separately so that Darren could not read it and know the answer, but let's hit this transition. Angela unties the string and the top of the bag falls open. A live pigeon sits in the palm of her hand, sleeping deeply. A soft coo can be heard as it breathes outward. She strokes the bird's head. Its eyes snap open as it looks around frantically. The bird opens its wings faster than our eyes can even see, and it jumps from Angela's palm and glides around the room. As the pigeon disappears deeper into the store, Angela laughs. Poor guy, he's been cooped up in that bag much longer than normal. She chuckles at her own joke. Here, take this. She hands us a small fortune's worth of gold. And since you decided to be fun today and played my game, here's a little extra. She hands us a small black whistle fashioned into a necklace with a bit of golden string. Use that whenever you wish to communicate with those which you cannot see. Ta-ta for now. She prances off, humming to herself as she goes. What a strange woman. And here we are again at the worst part of the show, the ending. Hope you guys had fun out there today. I think we got a lot done in universe, so we'll have to see how things pan out. We've got a new way to order food at the tavern with those wooden tubes. Shout out to Rheingeist. We've got a new building to explore that we just created live. Full improv, I promise. And we even have a new whistle to make use of. We don't really know exactly what it does yet, but Angela gave us a little bit of a riddle, so maybe we'll figure that out in the future. But yeah, a lot of news there today. What else is new? The Tavern Bounty Board, of course. This week's bounty is going to be visit a business you've never been to before. Wow, very on theme. A restaurant, a store, anything you'd like. You know, it could be something that you've like driven past or walked past and you're like, that looks cool, but you haven't made it over there yet. Go this week. Bonus points if it's a local business, because we love local businesses around here. But that's going to be all for me. Darren, what's going on next episode?
Yeah, I'll let you know about next episode, but if you know about a plant ranch that also has a crafting space, with the ceramics, and that actually exists, let us know about it in the comments, and we'll go ahead and give you not only experience, but we'll give you a gold reward as well.
Gold. Somehow. We'll send it to you.
That's right. We'll keep it in the same place we keep your experience, but for next week's episode, you'll have to keep your wits about you. The theme is deception. Keep your ears and eyes peeled. Subscribe to our podcast and follow us on socials at Sips and SideQuest to be notified when our next release lands to find out more. Leave a comment to let us know how we're doing and drop a like for some easy experience points. This has been Darren.
And this has been Troy. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next time for yet another adventure.